Verse 71. Knowing what cannot be known, what a lofty aim. Not knowing what needs to be known, what a terrible result. Only when your sickness becomes sick will your sickness disappear. The sage's illness has become ill. His renunciation has been renounced. Now he is free, and every place in this world is the perfect place to be. Verse 72. When the people do not fear worldly power, a great power will arrive. Don't limit the view of yourself. Don't despise the conditions of your birth. Don't resist the natural course of your life. In this way, you will never weary of this world. The sage knows himself, but not as himself. He loves himself, but not as himself. He honors himself, but not as himself. Thus, he discards the view of his own self and chooses the view of the universe. Verse 73. Bold action against others leads to death. Bold action in harmony with Tao leads to life. Good fortune, bad fortune. One seems to bring benefit, the other to cause harm. But heaven rejects them both. Both, in the end, tether men to this world. Who can know the reasons of heaven? Who can know its endless ways? Not even the sage has an answer to this one. Heaven's way does not strive, yet it always overcomes. It does not speak, yet it responds. It is not summoned, yet it appears. It does not hurry, yet it completes everything on time. The net of heaven spans the universe, yet not the slightest thing ever slips by. Verse 74. If people do not fear death, why threaten them with it? But suppose they did fear death, and this was the fate handed to lawbreakers, who would dare to do the killing? There is always a Lord of Death. He who takes the place of the Lord of Death is like one who cuts with the blade of a master carpenter. Whoever cuts with the blade of a master carpenter is sure to cut his own hands. Verse 75. Why are the people starving? Because their grain is being eaten up by taxes. That's why they're starving. Why are the people rebellious? Because those above them meddle in their lives. That's why they're rebellious. Why do people regard death so lightly? Because they are so involved with their own living. That's why they regard death so lightly. In the end, the treasure of life is missed by those who hold on, and gained by those who let go. Verse 76. When life begins, we are tender and weak. When life ends, we are stiff and rigid. All things, including the grass and trees, are soft and pliable in life, dry and brittle in death. So the soft and supple are the companions of life, while the stiff and unyielding are the companions of death. An army that cannot yield will be defeated. A tree that cannot bend will crack in the wind. Thus, by nature's own decree, the hard and strong are defeated, while the soft and gentle are triumphant. Verse 77. Heaven operates like the bending of a bow. The high it pulls down, the low it brings up. It takes from that which has too much, and gives to that which has too little. The way of man is otherwise. He takes from that which is depleted, and gives to that which has too much. Who can offer an abundance to the world? One who has Tao. Such a one can give like the heavens. The sage gives without relying on his own effort. He completes without waiting for reward. He illumines without stepping from the shadow. Verse 78. Nothing in this world is as soft and yielding as water. Yet, for attacking the hard and strong, none can triumph so easily. It is weak, yet none can equal it. It is soft, yet none can damage it. It is yielding, yet none can wear it away. Everyone knows that the soft overcomes the hard, and the yielding triumphs over the rigid. Why then so little faith? Why can no one practice it? So the sages say, fulfill even the lowest position. Love even the weakest creature. Then you will be called Lord of every offering, King of all below heaven. Verse 79. After settling a great dispute, some resentment is sure to remain. Being content with what you have is always best in the end. The sage always assumes the debt, as if holding the left side of a contract. He gives and wants nothing in return. One with true virtue always seeks a way to give. One who lacks true virtue always seeks a way to get. To the giver comes the fullness of life. To the taker, just an empty hand. Though the Tao of heaven has no favorites, it always sides with one who has a pure heart. Verse 80. Let every state be simple, like a small village with few people. There may be tools to speed things up 10 or 100 times, yet no one will care to use them. There may be boats and carriages, yet they will remain without riders. There may be armor and weaponry, yet they will sit collecting dust. The people must take death seriously and not waste their lives in distant lands. Let them return to the knotting of the cord. Let them enjoy their food and care for their clothing. Let them be content in their homes and joyful in the way they live. Neighboring villages are within sight of each other. Roosters and dogs can be heard in the distance. Should a man grow old and die without ever leaving his village, let him feel as though there was nothing he missed. Verse 81. Words born of the mind are not true. True words are not born of the mind. Those who have virtue do not look for faults. Those who look for faults have no virtue. Those who come to know it do not rely on learning. Those who rely on learning do not come to know it. The sage sees the world as an expansion of his own self. So what need has he to accumulate things? By giving to others, he gains more and more. By serving others, he receives everything. Heaven gives, and all things turn out for the best. The sage lives, and all things go as Tao goes. All things move as the wind blows.